Three lines model. No discussion of governance is complete without discussing the three lines model, which was previously known as three lines of defense model. The Institute of Internal Auditors has updated its three lines of defense model in July 2020 to emphasize more proactive and active forms of governance and risk management, and not merely defensive strategies and actions. Hence, the IIA has taken out defense, and now the model is named just three lines model to de-emphasize the defensive approach. The new emphasis is as much about seizing opportunities as it is about being defensive. The new model aims to help organizations better identify and structure the interactions and responsibilities of the key players in a company so they can achieve more effective alignment, collaboration, accountability, and objectives. In the words of Richard Chambers, as an assignment, search who Richard Chambers is. So as I was saying, in the words of Richard Chambers, the original three lines of defense model had been adopted in the early 2000s, and it played a very useful role in helping people understand internal audit's role and a good risk management and control framework. But there were widespread concerns that it was all about defense and value protection, which is an important role for the auditors and risk managers, but it isn't the reason why organizations exist, right? They don't exist just to protect value. They exist to create and grow value, or to enhance and expand value to the stakeholders and shareholders that they serve. According to him, one of the things that IIA has been able to do with the new three lines model is to emphasize that the role of management, the board, and the internal auditors is to enhance the value to the organizations, not just protect it. While as internal auditors, we still have responsibilities for providing assurance on the effectiveness of risk management and controls, we also should be lending a hand in helping our organizations better understand the opportunities. As you can see, the new model discusses the roles of various leaders within an organization, including oversight by a board or governing body, management and operational leaders, including risk and compliance, the first and second lines, and independent assurance through internal audit, the third line. It also deals with the role of external assurance providers. The model is supposed to apply to all types of organizations of different sizes and complexities, as we have discussed before from the governance perspective. As per Mr. Chambers, in his long blog post, which you can access on the Institute of Internal Auditors website, the biggest change is the identification of 6 key principles on which the new three lines model is based. Principle 1. Governance of an organization requires appropriate structures and processes that enable accountability, action, and assurance. Principle 2. Governing body roles ensure appropriate structures and processes are in place for effective governance. Principle 3. Management's responsibility to achieve organizational objectives comprises both first and second line roles. First line roles are most directly aligned with the delivery of products and/or services to clients of the organization and include the roles of support functions like finance, treasury, etc. Second line roles provide assistance with managing risk, like risk management and compliance departments. Principle 4. In its third line role, internal audit provides independent and objective assurance and advice on the adequacy and effectiveness of governance and risk management. It achieves this through the competent application of systematic and disciplined processes, expertise, and insight. It may consider assurance from other internal and external providers. Principle 5. Internal audit's independence from the responsibilities of management is critical to its objectivity, authority, and credibility, as we have discussed in Domain 2. Principle 6. All roles working collectively contribute to the creation and protection of value when they are aligned with each other and with the prioritized interests of stakeholders. He goes on and explains that most internal auditors should be familiar with these concepts, even if they haven't been articulated in a single model or document. Organizations that embrace and embed these principles in their controls, operations, and cultures will invariably enjoy stronger governance. Adherence to these principles should be the goal of all organizations, and once achieved, must be continuously and continually monitored and nurtured. He emphasized that the challenge for all organizations will be to apply and adapt the 3 lines model to their own needs and priorities. For example, the extent of first and second line roles will vary depending on a number of factors, including the size and complexity of the organization, the industry or sector in which it operates, and the level of external regulation. In summary, the new model's principles-based approach is designed to provide users greater flexibility. Governing bodies, executive management, and internal audit are not slotted into rigid lines or roles. The lines concept was retained in the interest of familiarity. However, they are not intended to denote structural elements but a useful differentiation in roles. The areas of responsibility are generally described as accountability by the governing body to stakeholders for oversight, actions, including managing risk, by management to achieve organizational objectives, assurance and advice by an independent internal audit function to provide insight, confidence, and encouragement for continuous improvement. I hope we have given you a good grounding in the governance space and the update in thought via the new 3 lines model. See you in the next lesson when we continue our discussions about the remaining parts of Domain 5.